People were telling me to finish your plate because it's Prophet Sunnah. I thought there was a prophet whose name was Sunnah.
Zhao or Namir came from China to New York as a business student. He is also interested in learning foreign languages. After failing to learn Russian, Namir studied Arabic. One afternoon, he passed by an Islamic center building with Arabic writing, intending to improve his language skills. He did not realize that it was a mosque. It was time for breaking the fast for Shaban. Namir was invited to break the fast together, and then he talked with the mosque's sheikh. This was the beginning of Namir discovering Islam.
So I didn't have any kind of idea of how genuine people can be, how genuine relationships can be between people until I met these Muslim brothers during that iftar on Thursday, 6th of Sha'ban, 5 years ago. And so I was speaking with the sheikh also a little bit. Before that, I kind of knew about the 5 pillars of Islam. And one of them I really liked was the zakat because it's a compulsory charity. And so coming from kind of a socialist background, and that really made me like Islam a lot more, the zakat aspect. You have to give compulsory charity, give to people, help the poor. So that's what I told the sheikh. And that night, it just something, I guess, clicked. And I just said, I want to take Shahada. I had very little knowledge. I didn't even intend on taking the Shahada when going in. And I had very little knowledge at the time. To give you an example, people were telling me to finish your plate because it's Prophet Sunnah. I thought there was a prophet whose name was Sunnah. So I had very little knowledge at that time. So I would say like afterwards, I started learning more and more about Islam. I realized it's like kind of like I stumbled onto the true religion while I didn't really intend to. Yeah. I started researching more about it, learning about the Quran, reading the Quran, and how I juxtaposed that with my experience with the Bible back in middle school and high school was that I found proofs, many proofs, innumerable proofs of the veracity and truthfulness of the Quran within the Quran. You don't find that in the Bible. So starting with the scientific miracles, all these things, descriptions of the embryo's development in the fetus, detailed in the Quran, stars' movements, how the sun and the moon travel in an orbit, the planets, how the universe is expanding, all in the Quran that was revealed almost 1500 years ago. Very amazing. I never encountered a religion whose scripture was like this before, that it actually had proofs, because before, going by the standards that I had, I guess psychological, subconscious standards I had set while researching Christianity, was that it's just something you have to take a leap of faith to believe in. Kind of blindly, as it were. So therefore, you can kind of pick and choose. Like I like this part, I like that part, so I'm gonna do this. But the Quran really struck me in the sense that its proofs are innumerable, and is concrete and is evidenced on so many levels. Now, obviously, with more knowledge, I know about the linguistic miracle of the Quran, how no human is able to even come up with a verse and a surah like it, right? So, and the scientific miracles of the Quran. And when you look into the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his mission, his history, so many miracles that happened, and how he by himself, logically speaking, was not doing anything except to deliver this true message from God, that's when it really clicked.